What's up everybody, and welcome to the channel. In today's video, we're going to take a look at the 2024 Mini Cooper S Clubman All 4. This one's finished in Nanuq White Metallic. MSRP is a little over $40,000. Big shout out to Flow Mini of Winston-Salem for providing this car for today's video. Take a look at their website, linked down below. Underneath the hood of the Cooper S Clubman, you're going to find the 2-liter inline 4-cylinder turbocharged engine. Of course, derived from BMW. This pumps out 189 horsepower with 206 pound-feet of torque. It's paired to an 8-speed automatic transmission, and this is an all-wheel drive vehicle. Current weight is around 3,300 pounds. This runs on a 13.2 gallon fuel tank, and you can expect 23 miles per gallon in the city with 32 out on the highway. Overall length is 168.3 inches with a wheelbase at 105.1. Width is 70.9 and height is 56.7 inches. Moving on to the styling now, this is a pretty sporty look. I especially like it in the white with all the black contrasting accents. You have a round set of headlights with a chrome bezel, and I really like the daytime running light to it. Looks really cool in that perfectly round design. Matching the fog lights down below, LED, you have a nice duct on the far side to let air pass through these front wheels. There's more chrome trim surrounding the grille and a nice opening to provide cooling to the engine. You can also see the S badge, sharp lines surrounding it, another duct down below, and then your intercooler in the lower grille. You can also see the Mini logo along with a trim piece and very prominent stripes on the hood. This has a super traditional style. Of course, the Minis have been around for a very long time. You have chrome trim surrounding the edge of the hood and then all the way under the windows as well. So it certainly has a unique style to it. Comes together very well in this 4-door look. You can see at the side you have this plastic material around the fenders and then a nice set of gloss black wheels. You can see they're 17-inch diameter multi-spoke design. You have your S badge along with a side corner light and then the All 4 logo down below with more plastic on the side skirt. You have a nice, more of a gray bronze color for the mirror caps that actually matches the roof. Panoramic sunroof up top as well, and then all black trim surrounding the windows. You can see the chrome trim on the underside along with the chrome for the door handles. Pretty large design for all the windows wrapping around in back. You have your third brake light up above. Super unique style for the split design in back. Then you can see body color for this rear bumper with just a little bit of plastic trim. Massive reflectors. Nice set of taillights that have half of that British flag in them, which is definitely a cool touch to see. You have all of your badging, Clubman in the center, your chrome handles as well, and it comes together well. It's got a quirky design to it, but it certainly makes a lot of sense with how it's designed. On the key fob, you have this really cool round design. It says Mini on one end. The lock button is your Mini logo. Then of course you can unlock it with the unlock button itself. Going inside, this has a black leatherette interior. Pretty nice design with a light colored headliner. And then taking a look at the door panel, finished in black. You have some plastic black trim, a little bit of padding, your grab handle, chrome trim for the window controls, as well as mirror controls above that. Lock and unlock is on this release handle. A little awkward to grab that, but it's got a unique design to it. More storage down below, and then I really like the Mini Cooper S logo on that door sill. We have all manual controls for these seats, along with an extendable leg rest, and then you can see a nice design for all the seating. You have this golf ball texture throughout the center, just a little bit of contrast stitching making its way up to the headrest, and then a sporty looking 3-spoke steering wheel, smooth black leather, a nice design for that white stitching, and your Mini badge. And then now inside the Clubman, keeping my foot on the brake, start button is this toggle. We can go ahead and fire it up. Taking a look at the gauge cluster, you have this single LCD screen which has a pretty cool look to it. You can see the tach on the one side along with fuel, speed right in the center. If we toggle your drive modes, which is this toggle right here, you can go up and down. You can see the 3 different drive modes from more of an eco mode, the normal, as well as sport. You also get a pretty cool depiction in the center, which is a nice touch to see. So pretty cool looking, not too many configurations for the screen, however, it certainly fits the steering wheel very well. On the left side, you can see cruise control settings. We have a few more Bluetooth and audio controls on the right, and a nice set of steering wheel mounted paddle shifters. On the right stock, you can see all the controls for windshield wipers. You also have the turn signal stock on the left side. And then to the left of the steering wheel, we have more of your headlight controls, some nice trim, one of your air vents, very small dashboard. I like how prominent the round center bezel is for that screen. You have more air vents on the far right side with this cool trim. And then for all this is even ambient lit. If you even make any adjustments, you can see how that adjusts as well, doing the climate. So pretty cool. I like just the quirky aspects you're gonna find. The infotainment screen is previous generation BMW, so super easy to use, very familiar if you've been around BMWs for a little bit. So I like how the circle is kind of the screen that you're on. And then through this left side, you can also toggle through different apps in the car. You can go back. Going under Mini, there's all the system settings within the vehicle you're able to adjust. You have a nice navigation screen as well, full screen map. So once again, just basically old BMW, which is very nice to use, very familiar. You can also adjust all that using the rotary dial down below. We have all of your different shortcuts. You can easily make different adjustments, hit your menu button, and easily toggle pretty much everything. If I go ahead and put the car into reverse, you got a nice size backup camera along with all of your parking sensors. Then you can just tap the P button for back into park. Underneath that, you're gonna see some presets down below, your volume on off, and then climate controls down below. We have our fan speed right in the center. You can very easily adjust all of that, turning it off. And then we have dual zone temperature. We also have heated seats, all of your defrost, air conditioning in different zones. And then we have a toggle for the auto start stop. You can also see traction control. And then down below, there's a little bit of storage with plugs, 2 cup holders, and then your shifter. Again, more round themes all throughout it, more of this gloss trim, and then you can pop this open. And I even like the plaid design for the plastic, which is a pretty cool touch. You can open this up in 2 different ways. You have extra storage now, and then the glove box on the far right side, as you would expect. One last look at the interior. It's quirky in here, however, it is pretty cool. Certainly a unique interior fitting the Mini brand very well. We have a light colored headliner along with 2 panes for the panoramic roof. All those controls up top with even more of these toggle switches for all of your dome lights, and then a nice small mirror. Moving on to the rear seat space, grabbing the door handle, opening it up. Door panel's finished off just like we saw up front, and then you have the same seating material back here with that golf ball texture throughout the center. This can seat 3 people back here. You do even have air vents down below with some USB plugs, and then there's just a little bit of storage behind these seats. You can also grab these levers, pull these seats forward, and they're gonna fold down nice and flat to maximize the cargo and give you extra space into the back. So sitting into the back seat now with this Mini, this is actually not that small. You have the really cool panoramic roof, so you have a lot of light let in, and at 5'11", I'm sitting back here with plenty of headroom, and with the driver's seat to my height, I have plenty of knee room and footroom as well. Good armrest. You can tell it's a small car, but honestly, this is pretty practical for being so compact. Moving on to the cargo area, all you have to do is pinch the button behind here. These are gonna automatically open up. The gas strut is pretty strong. You have to open the passenger side first, and then you can open the driver's side to follow. Super cool seeing how wide they open to make this a pretty practical small car. You even do have some cubbies on each of these doors, which is a cool touch. And then there's a little storage net on the left and right side. We have a small cargo cover as well, and from back here, you're easily able to push these seats down to give yourself more space and make this even more practical. So for being a Mini, this is actually pretty useful, and I like how everything works. It comes together very well. So setting off now, we're in sport mode. Not too bad. Obviously this isn't a sports car, but it seems peppy enough. It does have a nice sound to it when you are in the sport mode itself. Going back to auto and just going into the mid mode. Car kind of tones down just a little bit. This is a cool car to drive, honestly. It feels pretty comfortable in here, very roomy. It feels solid. Obviously, you know, BMW owns Mini, and BMW is a great car company, and this Mini has that quality to it to where everything feels solid. It doesn't just feel like some cheap car. It feels like a nice, just compact, small car. It is super easy to maneuver. Obviously, it is tiny. Turning circle, even with all-wheel drive, is super sharp. So it's just an easy car to maneuver. I like the weight of the steering. It feels heavy and direct. Visibility is pretty interesting. The round mirrors, they do a good job letting you know what's going on. The dashboard is pretty unique, and just looking out the front is really cool with this big round circle bezel. It's a cool, quirky car. Not many cars, if anything, are close to this. Over your left and right shoulder, the rear window is a little small, especially having the split design through your rear view mirror. It is really small seeing back there. So visibility is all right when you're looking back. Got the cool sport displays on the car right now. Gives you a cool little fun graphic when you hit the gas a little bit. But I don't know, it's kind of a fun car to just cruise around in. It's got the space to actually be pretty practical. And then sport mode just helps it just be a little bit more lively on its toes. The 8-speed transmission also really quick shifting. It's smooth to drive. The 4-cylinder delivers enough power. Again, it's not like a fast car or anything like that, but it's well powered to where you can merge into oncoming traffic and just kind of do what you need to do. Technology wise, it also feels like it's very well equipped with what you want. And for the price point, this is honestly about an average price of a new car. And I feel like you have a lot of good features to where everything kind of makes sense with what it has to offer. I do like this sound. Getting up to speed, pretty easy, has a good sound to it. And then now that we are cruising at some highway speeds, it is kind of a windy day. You don't really hear much wind noise or road noise. I wouldn't say it's a noisy car. This honestly would be a pretty comfortable car for just the day-to-day. Seat comfort is pretty good as well, especially with the leg rest and the maneuverability, even though they are manual controls. But it seems comfortable and just easy to drive and kind of has a fun aspect to it. All right, setting off now. My honest thoughts and perspective, it's a fun little car, honestly. It's kind of cool. I've never really been around the Minis all too much. This is only maybe the third one I've ever driven. I've driven a ton of BMWs. Of course, I own a Toyota Supra, which has the BMW in it. So this screen is basically what I'm used to in the Supra. It's just slightly different in the graphics. But it's kind of cool to be in. You know, it is roomy. You know, at 5'11", I have plenty of headroom and legroom. This is a nice place to be. I don't think you really are going to sacrifice in size, regardless of how large you are as an individual. I think you're going to fit in this car quite fine. It is neat to have different sun visors too, which is pretty cool, just to give you a little extra quirky aspects to this car. I like the screen layout. The ergonomics are nice as well, and I like how the buttons are minimal, but it gives you the buttons you need. Some modern, you know, luxury cars are getting a little overboard with the lack of buttons. Everything's going touch screen, touch sensitive, and when you look around, you don't really see many buttons. This little strip is kind of the only row of buttons, and then the round dials are easy. The toggles are really cool looking. Of course, toggles up here kind of make you feel like you're in a fighter jet to go ahead and open your sunroof. But it's cool. I like the seat comfort. You know, there's good padding to it. The A-pillar is kind of far away to where it makes the glass feel far away. So you do feel like there's just a lot of space in here, a lot of light let in. I mean, obviously with the panoramic roof. I'd say my only downfall is definitely looking through the rear view mirror. The split window, you sometimes have to look a little bit side to side to see in between it because that black bar kind of blocks cars right behind you. And then getting back up to speed, normal mode and automatic. Smooth shifting, good power without even redlining it or anything. Not bad. Not bad at all. I feel like this is an easy city car, daily driver, commuter. You're going to get good gas mileage. You can use it even as a utility vehicle, given it is technically a hatchback. It's got the rear end with all the space and the seats folding down. So this is a very useful car. You could truly just use this all the time. I could see this being an ideal city SUV, I would say, because it's shaped like an SUV, but it's significantly smaller, much more economical, and way easier to park and just drive around. So this is something you could use in the city life, doing stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. And I like how you got the fun factor too when you put in sport mode and you kind of play with it a little bit. And with the all-wheel drive and ground clearance, you can still go places that you might not think a normal car can go. So I feel like Mini kind of gives you a rugged and sporty aspect into a compact car. So definitely unique, has a lot going for it, and pricing, it's not really all that expensive, about average with the market for a brand new car. So cool car to drive for sure. But there is the 2024 Mini Cooper S, the Clubman. Pretty neat design. If you guys enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, stay tuned for plenty more content, and a big shout out to Flow Mini of Winston-Salem for providing this car for today's video. Take a look at their website, links down below, and I'll see you all in the next video.